the magical forest. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a magical forest that nobody dared enter. The trees were tall and lush, with branches that reached for the sky. The bushes and flowers were bright and colorful, filling the air with sweet fragrances. But a legend had it that the forest was enchanted, and whoever entered it never returned. One day, a young boy named Jack stumbled upon the forest while out on an adventure. Ignoring the warning signs, he decided to explore the forest and find out what lay inside. As he walked deeper, the trees grew thicker and the light began to fade. Suddenly, he heard a rustling sound and turned to see a pack of wolves running towards him. Jack ran frantically, but the wolves closed in on him. Just as he felt like all was lost, he stumbled upon a clearing and saw a beautiful fairy sitting on top of a mushroom. She looked at Jack with kindness and asked him why he was in the enchanted forest. Jack told her about his adventure and how he wanted to see what was inside the forest. The fairy smiled and told him that she would help him out. She gave him a magic potion and told him to drink it. The potion would turn him into a bird, and he could fly out of the forest without harm. Jack drank the potion and transformed into a beautiful bluebird. He flew out of the forest, enjoying the freedom of the skies. When he landed, he noticed that he had returned home, safe and sound. For years to come, Jack told the tale of the enchanted forest and the kind-hearted fairy who saved his life. Children from all over the land came to hear the story, and they learned that sometimes even the most dangerous of places can hold secrets that are worth exploring. The magical quest of the enchanted forest. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was an enchanting forest full of magical creatures. The forest was known for its beauty and was guarded by a wise old owl named Hooty. One day, a young girl named Lily entered the forest. She had heard stories about the forest's magic and beauty and was determined to see it for herself. As she wandered through the forest, she met a friendly fox named Finn who offered to be her guide. With Finn leading the way, Lily saw all kinds of wonders, like talking trees, flying squirrels, and even a unicorn. However, Lily soon learned that not everything in the forest was friendly. She encountered a group of goblins who had taken over a clearing in the forest. The goblins chased Lily and Finn, but they managed to escape and find refuge in a castle deep in the forest. In the castle lived a kind and powerful fairy queen who had the ability to grant wishes. Lily told the queen about the goblins and how they were terrorizing the forest. The queen agreed to help and granted Lily and Finn 3 wishes to defeat the goblins. Lily wished for a sword. Finn wished for a bow and arrows, and the queen gave them a magical shield that could protect them from any harm. Armed with their new weapons, Lily and Finn set off to face the goblins. The battle was long and difficult, but eventually, Lily and Finn emerged victorious. The goblins fled the forest, and peace was restored. To celebrate their victory, the fairy queen threw a grand party for all the creatures in the forest. Lily and Finn danced and celebrated with their new friends, knowing they had made a difference in the world. From that day on, Lily visited the enchanted forest often, staying with her new friends and learning more about the magical world that existed within it. And every time she visited, the forest welcomed her with open arms, knowing that she was a true friend of the creatures who lived within it. The magical garden. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a magical garden that was hidden from human eyes. This garden was home to all kinds of fairies, talking animals, and enchanted creatures. The garden was protected by a wicked witch who had put a curse on it, preventing anyone from entering or enjoying its beauty. One day, a group of brave children stumbled across the entrance to the garden. They were curious and determined to explore this mysterious place. As they entered, they saw the wilted flowers and trees, the dried-up streams, and the sad faces of the fairy folk who lived there. The children felt sorry for the beings who called the garden their home. They asked the fairy queen what had happened to the garden. The queen explained the curse that the wicked witch had placed on it, causing the garden to wither and die. The children knew they had to find a way to break the curse and help the garden come back to life. They searched for answers and found a magical spell that was hidden in an old book. The spell required a pure heart, a brave spirit, and a selfless act of kindness. The children knew they were up for the task. They each took turns reciting the spell while holding hands and focusing on the garden. Suddenly, a bright light shone, and the curse was broken. The garden came back to life. And the fairies were filled with joy and gratitude. The children were hailed as heroes, and the fairy queen awarded them with magical powers that would last forever. From that day on, the garden was no longer hidden. It became a place of wonder and beauty, where children could play and learn from the magical creatures that lived there. The end. The Enchanted Forest 5. Once upon a time, there was an enchanted forest that no one dared to enter. Many believed the forest was cursed, for those who had entered never returned. However, deep within the forest lived a group of creatures known as the woodland fairies. They lived happily, tending to the forest and all its inhabitants. One day, a young boy named Jack stumbled upon the forest while playing in the nearby meadow. Curiosity getting the better of him, he entered without hesitation. As he walked deeper into the forest, he heard whispers from the trees and rustling in the bushes. Suddenly, he came face to face with a beautiful fairy named Lily. Lily was surprised to see a human in the forest and asked what brought him there. Jack explained that he was just curious and wanted to explore the enchanted forest. Lily, fond of children, decided to show Jack around the forest, introducing him to all its magical inhabitants. Jack met the talking animals, the mischievous forest imps, and even danced with the butterflies. However, their joy was short-lived when they were confronted by an evil witch named Morgana. Morgana had been banished from the forest years ago for her wicked ways, but she had returned seeking revenge. Morgana cast a spell on Lily, causing her to fall into a deep sleep. She then chased Jack through the forest, hoping to capture him as well. Jack knew he had to save Lily and defeat Morgana. He sought the help of the forest animals, the imps, and the fairies, who all agreed to join his quest. They battled Morgana, using their powers and intelligence to outsmart her. In the end, they defeated her and saved Lily. With Morgana gone, the enchanted forest was free from evil. Lily woke up from her slumber, grateful to Jack and his new friends for their bravery. As a reward, the woodland fairies granted Jack a magical charm, which would protect him from any harm in the future. From that day forward, Jack visited the enchanted forest often, bringing his family and friends to enjoy its beauty, wonder, and magic. And the woodland fairies continued to live happily, grateful to have such a wonderful friend as Jack. The end. The Enchanted Forest 6. Once upon a time, in a far-off kingdom, there was a magical forest so mystical and enchanting that no one dared to enter it. It was said that the forest was home to countless magical creatures like unicorns, fairies, and talking animals. One day, a young girl named Lily, who lived in the nearby village, decided to venture into the forest, despite the warning of her parents and elders. As she walked deeper into the forest, she came across a beautiful unicorn grazing in a meadow. The unicorn looked up at her and smiled, and Lily knew that she had stumbled onto something truly magical. As she walked further, Lily came across a group of fairies who were tending to a wounded bird. The fairies were singing sweet songs, and their voices echoed throughout the forest. Lily continued walking until she came upon a clearing where a wise old owl perched on a tree branch. The owl turned to Lily and said, "Welcome, young one. You have entered a sacred realm. Tell me, what brings you here?" Lily explained that she was on a quest to discover the secrets of the enchanted forest. The owl smiled and told her that there was a great treasure hidden deep within the forest, but only a pure-hearted soul could find it. Determined to uncover the treasure, Lily embarked on a journey deeper into the forest, encountering many magical creatures along the way. She helped a group of animals cross a treacherous river and saved a fairy from a spider's web. Finally, she reached the heart of the forest, where she found a small box made of gold. Inside the box was a sparkling jewel, and as she held it in her hand, she felt an overwhelming sense of peace and joy. Lily returned to her village, where she shared her story with all the other children. From that day on, children from all over the kingdom would visit the enchanted forest, hoping to find their own treasures and create their own magical adventures. And so, the enchanted forest became a place of wonder and joy for generations to come.